Good morning, all. Life is a matter of choices, and every choice you make makes you. With this note, paying pranams to our chairman Dr. R.N. Shetty, on behalf of our director Dr. H.N. Shivashankar, principal Dr. M.K. Venkatesha, HOD Dr. U. Bochanna, and faculty members, I, Rajeshri, welcome you all to the Career Growth and Prospects 3, organized by RNS Management Alumni Association. And in this session, we have our alumni of our MBA department, Ms. Beena RK and Ms. Netravati, to talk about dual as specialization. Now, I would request our beloved HOD, Dr. U. Bojana, to welcome the gathering. Over to you, sir.
ಯಾರು ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ದು?
Rajeshri.
ಹ?
Rajeshri.
ರಾಜೇಶ್ವರಿ.
Rajeshri.
ರಾಜೇಶ್. Thank you, Rajeshri. Students of third semester, and special good morning to Miss Beena and Miss Netravati, who are the proud alumni of this department. Has brought a lot of name and also laurel to the department. A very good morning, Netra and Beena.
Thank you, sir. Very good morning to you too.
Good morning. I feel I am proud to welcome my own students, Miss Netra and Miss Beena, for this career and growth, career prospects and growth lecture series 3. Generally, we organize this lecture series to help the students of second semester to choose the right specialization and clarify the doubts and any questions related to the specialization, and also if they have any additional inputs they need in order to excel in the field of specialization they are going to choose. This platform is created so that we bring in our alumni, our wonderful alumni, to interact with our students and clarify. In this regard, I hearty welcome Miss Beena and Miss Netra for this session. A hearty welcome, Beena and Miss Netra. I want to request Beena and Netra, please inform the students what exactly the additional courses we give them. Excel, advanced Excel. Now we also have a tie-up with IBM and Google. We also give them training in analytics. We give them training in digital marketing. In addition to this, is there any other requirements for our students, especially online courses? By doing those courses, they will be one step ahead against their competitors in the market. If you have any information related to that, I request you to share that information also. Thank you. A hearty welcome to you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to hand over the session to Meghna to introduce our today's speakers. Over to you, Meghna.
Thank you, Rajeshri. Good afternoon, all. It's a great pleasure for me to welcome our alumni for today's session. Firstly, I would like to welcome speaker for the first session, Ms. Beena RK, who has been completed her MBA in RNSIT in the year 2018. Presently, she is working as a tax associate in KPMG Global Service Private Limited. She has been trained under data analysis and preparation of returns in softwares like CCH, GoSystem, K-Link, Orion, Atlas, OIT. Now, I hand over the session to Ms. Beena. Over to you, Ms. Beena.
Yeah, so thank you, Megara, for introducing me, and thank you, Bojana sir, for introducing me to the group. First of all, hi everyone, a very good morning to one and all. So let me, has Meghana given short intro regarding me? I hope many people will not be knowing like what is a data analysis or something. So let me give a very short intro about me. Myself Veena. So I'm currently working at KPMG as a tax associate. So what I do as my profile is that I basically file returns for the US people. For the individual and also for the US corporation. So this is the two fields that I've been working for, and it has been almost 2 years now. It is going good, and it is like I'm the 2018 batch graduated one. So first of all, I would like to congratulate all of you for choosing RNSIT MBA as your PG courses. But I believe that when compared to other colleges, you have more workshops, seminars, and sessions and activities that is being conducted throughout your 2 years, which will really help you to groom in a professional manner and perfectly fit into your corporate level. So, like before starting of the session, I would like to say people are in a confusion right now, saying that whether I have to go for a core, whether I have to go for a dual specialization or something. I would like to tell to those people who think that I want to set my career in finance itself, I want to set my career in marketing or HR. When you're very clear about your views, please go ahead and prefer your own specialization. So to the other categories of people who think that I'm okay with both, even I'm okay with finance job, I'm okay with marketing job, I am open to opportunities. So whichever is there, I'll grab. For me, it is main thing is to increase my knowledge. And to other set of the people who think that taking a dual specialization, you will have a slight partial towards one specialization, like even I had for finance. So keep in mind, I'm not giving any statistics or something like that, but for example, in 50 companies, in like almost 48 companies, will not even ask you regarding any dual specialization or whether you're core one. They're just gonna focus you have a particular knowledge in that field or not. This is what really matters. In other two companies, it's like I believe which came for when we were there, it's like Moody's and other one more company which asked for only core specialization. They had a limited requirement. But I would like to say you people to see at the broader concept which it has. So 48 companies or like any like a big force that I am working for, they are just concerned about the knowledge that you have, which is a very basic account terminology. They're not going to ask you any big rocket science questions or ask you to prepare any balance sheets like that. So please keep that in mind, this only this thing, because when you say that I'm taking it up for a dual specialization, so people come up to you and say that please don't put your legs into both and saying like that. So I say that don't keep in mind, so just be open to the opportunities and accept it. So why in dual specialization, I strongly prefer you, all of you to go for finance and marketing. Why finance and marketing? Because these two go hand in hand. Because it is like in a marketing, when you see it is a very huge, it is an evergreen field. All those 7 P's of marketing mix, what you have, each different fields have each different job opportunity. It is a very big ocean. So when you come to finance, it is like you have opportunities for marketing, but it is bit. So you have opportunities in finance, but it is less when it is compared to marketing. But I would like to give you the balance between both finance and marketing, and later I tell you why you have to prefer the dual specialization. So in marketing, it is like you have various opportunities, and it's based on the market. You also can expect a very good career growth in that. A good has the incentive growth that you could get, higher your package and everything. That's marketing. In finance, it is a gradual increase. You don't have anything like a market situation. It is like you start your career with something like a 25K and 30, 40, and it never falls down. So these are the two different. There are many fields in the market also where you have to play a dual role of finance and marketing. Even personally, even I have got offers like that. So it is not only you're focusing on one career or another career, it is like you're focusing on both, you're gaining a knowledge. So please keep that in mind. So coming to the opportunity, so it is like in marketing, it is like how well you can connect your customer, how well you can contact your customers and able to get them your orders or something like that. If it is like not just a sales one or a marketing one, you have a technical aspect too, artificial intelligence, digital marketing, and web page designing. So there are hell lot of opportunities for you there in marketing. Then coming to finance. You can also be like a tax associate like me, or you want to prefer to go for an audit one, and any financial analyst, stockbroking, mergers and acquisition. And mergers and acquisition, I believe in dual specialization, there is a separate subject for you people in the fourth semester. It's focus on it. It is, we also have in KPMG, it is not only for one finance group or something. We also have marketing, a special head over here. We have mergers and acquisition, a special head, and other tax, and all that. There are various fields in it. So I would like to say you that. And as Bhojana sir has mentioned regarding the courses, I really appreciate they have taken the digital marketing courses. I really wanted to pursue that when I was in MBA, but they have made it right now. I really appreciate that, sir. So it is like digital marketing is a very big field. So if you're going something like a marketing field or to pursue your career, it is the first preferences they'll be asking you. And it might be through digital marketing, artificial intelligence, or the courses like any brand management related one. And even in like when coming to finance, for the courses that you have to prefer is first thing is mainly your SAP P and Co. Even I did the same. It is finance and controlling. And even in SAP, you have special subjects for marketing also. So it is in both. And next is about the tally. So these are something two main aspects they're gonna ask you when it comes to finance field. So that is the SAP P and Co and tally. In marketing, digital marketing is more than enough for you to show a certification. Why certification is important is like because interviewer gonna ask you a question saying that apart from your academics, what did you do? This is the first thing they're gonna say you. You could say that, sir, ma'am, this is what I did. I didn't do only just focusing on my career, academics or something. I also did apart from this is a certification courses. Because when you stand with your friend or something, there should be some weightage in you. It should be something a one step ahead. So that's why I say that focus right now on your certification courses. It is very, very important. And regarding the, when coming to finance or marketing or HR, any field, first thing they will ask you one more is that the Excel. Basic and advanced Excel you have to have. Everyone will have. I believe sir is also giving training on that. So this is a very big career. It's an added advantage for your resume. So apart from that, I would like to say you people to go for real specialization. The main reasons is like you are open to the opportunities to the market. It is a huge market. When you're focusing on finance, you might have a less opportunities. You have less job openings coming from that. So when you focus on both the careers, you can get marketing, you can get finance, you can get a combined job also. So the knowledge also in turn it increases. The second one is that your network also increases. You're focusing on both, and you have a lot of people whom you can contact to. And next is switching your job. It is very easy to switch your job from finance to marketing, but it is difficult to switch from a marketing to a finance. So keep that in mind. People who feel that, okay, I'm not okay with finance job, and you have an option to switch it at the marketing. But this thing, the core people will not be having. So keep that in mind. And your next is the entrepreneurs, the young budding entrepreneurs who would love to, start up anything on your own or something. I say this specialization give you eye-opening view for you. I believe whatever those subjects is that you have learned in these 2 years, and you will get specialized in those 6 subjects in that 1 year, and maybe in the finance or maybe in the marketing, it is more than enough for you to crack any interviews. And even KPMG or like any big four, they just need a knowledge regarding your tax, your journal entries. If you're very strong with these terms and everything, I don't think so. There is nothing much needed for you to focus or something. If some stockbroking companies is that come, then you might miss one subject that is there in the finance, that is the derivatives. So if you just focus on those basics, that is more than enough. And I would like to tell you why I chose dual specialization. So it is like I was open to opportunities. I was okay with the job, even finance or marketing. I was okay with the both. But I had a bit flavor taste towards the finance, saying I have to set my career in finance itself. It is like apart from the campus interviews, whatever sir has got, I personally also attended from my own efforts. So I literally attended totally, it is like 11 companies. From that, I got like 4 companies offered me the job. It is at the time of I was passing out from the college, I had 4 offer letters. So I chose the best which I wanted for my career, that is at the KPMG. What I am coming to say to you people here right now is that apart from colleges, they are making their efforts. I say to you people, your effort also should be there personally. And it is not so difficult for you people to do. Just, I would like to give some tips or something. Just go, prepare up your CVs, show to your lecturers whom you feel like very comfortable with, and if you feel it is okay, it is a very professional manner, put it into a job portal. Every portals are not free. Nobody is costing, you need to pay or something like that. This is what even I did. I put it in a Naukri, and that's how I got for KPMG in tax, because I believe tax will not come to colleges to recruit. They only come for audit from KPMG. So put it into all Indeed, Naukri, and have a regular updates on that, monster.com, Indeed, and many are there. Just free of a cost, put it over there, no issues. The second thing is focus on your aggregate. That is very important, because maintaining a 60 percentage is very, very much important. So wherever you go, whichever the company you go, they will minimum ask you 60 percentage. That is very important. If you're falling a bit a percentage down in your 1 year back or something, you can really, make that up to in this 1 year. Make sure you focus on that. So once after your opening account, having an aggregate, and next is about your networking. Networking is very, very important, which it helped me a lot. Your networking, when I talk about it, your immediate seniors or your networking, the first main point of contact for you people to come, because just now they have stepped into the colleges, stepped into the corporate world, and they are working into different fields. So it is very easy for you to connect with them. It is not only your seniors, and it is also your parents' friends, your siblings' friends, or your friends who is already working. So please be in touch with them. This is how you grow. Other than you having a list in your contacts will not really serve. Just keep in touch with them, ping them regularly, saying that please let me know if you have any opportunities in your company, so that I can work over there, or like I can attend for an interview. This will not only help for you for job intern, it will also help for you in your internship in your fourth semester. Please remember this. So the next is APTI. I say that APTI is a very huge important. No matter you're very good at terms, your financial terms, or your any marketing terms, you're very good at academics, you're very good at your aggregate, and any other certification courses, you are like fully packed and okay, but you're not okay with the APTI or something, it will not really fetch you any job, because that is the first round you're gonna attend. Any field, might be finance, it might be marketing, or any fields it might be there. So please focus on APTI. I believe there is a 7 Sense training which will be given by our college. Please use it. They're gonna tell you right from your grooming till your how you have to wear, or how you sit, or how you have to talk, and APTI. And they each week, one or the other person will come. Each person will give you one of the small tricks gonna solve that. So please take it very seriously. This is very important. Focus on it right now. You start it, and focus on those things. And lastly, I would like to say that it is like, because of the COVID situation that has been happening, you'll be reading in all the newspapers like a lot of layoffs that has been happening. So don't worry, there is an opportunities in the market out there. Focus, take a decision wisely which one you have to focus into. So remember all the points, and please let me know if you have any questions in the chat box, or you can ask me directly once after my friend Netra's session is done. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Beena, for your wonderful talk. Now it's time to welcome speaker for the second session, Ms. Netravati. Ms. Netravati did her MBA in HR from RNSIT. She has worked in Exceed Education Private Limited as an Educational Development Manager. Presently, she is working as a marketing and sales head in Subhas Publishing House and looking after 3 states, Karnataka, Telangana, and Tamil Nadu. Now I hand over the session to you, Ms. Netravati. Over to you, Ms. Netravati.
Hi, thank you so much. Thank you, RNSIT Ma, for giving me an opportunity. Today's session on career growth and prospects is very much essential and very much important. So, as she rightly introduced, that is my role. And currently, I'm working with Subhash Publishing House as a sales and marketing head, and I'm looking after 3 states. So, I would like to address this session into 5 stages. I would like to take you through 5 stages, which I feel are necessary and important to see where exactly or what specialization you should opt, or what kind of career choices or options that are available out in the market. So first one would be how to choose a specialization or the key elements that matters or you should consider while choosing a specialization. Second one would be how right now, because I'm working in marketing department, how is marketing and HR as a job profiles, and also together how do they work. And number three, what is the job profiles that are available when I see HR, and the job profiles that are available in a marketing. And fourth one would be a long-term career growth, how exactly in both the unique profiles. And the fifth one, I have few suggestions and also the certain initial expectations that you need to consider, as soon as you graduate or while you are in college. So let me begin with the first one, how to choose a specialization, or what are the key elements that you should sit and analyze. So one would be your personality. What kind of person are you? Number two, what kind of skills do you possess, or what kind of skills you want to learn? Number three, the background. When I say background, it is about more educational qualification that you have previously, and also the work experience, in case if you have any previous work experience. So why I consider these three elements are important, because these are the three elements which help me also. In fact, even when I wanted to choose a specialization, I have taken a lot of suggestion from a lot of people, but end of the day, choosing a specialization and making a decision is in our hand. So when I say background, I did my BCom from NMKRV College, and my specialization was finance. After my BCom, I worked in a company for 3 months in an accounts department. So I was doing tally entries, as rightly Bina said, doing transactions, converting those entries into SAP, and dealing with bank reconciliation. This is what my role was. So when I realized, when I see those 3 months, when I worked in a company, I didn't enjoy my work. I did not feel I did not feel I'm a right person to sit in front of the computer for 7 to 8 hours and making entries. I'm somebody who likes to talk to people and somebody likes to get things done, and more into an organization than into a making entries into a system. So somewhere I could eliminate one of the option very easily. So that's how, when I say educational qualification, even though I had a really good marks in finance and accounts, but still my interest was not there. I did not enjoy my work. So that is one aspect. And when I say a personality and skills, both the jobs, whether you take HR or marketing, both the jobs, require the same kind of skill sets. You should be somebody, when I say marketing, you should be somebody who can influence people, who can convince people, and somebody who likes to go and deal with people. So again, same in a marketing. When I say HR also again dealing with people, handling employees, solving issues, and looking after inside the organization. It's very simple. When I say HR is more of an internal marketing. Inside the company, you carry your company values, company brand within the organization. When I say marketing, it is more of an external, outside. You have to deal with a lot of customers and solving their issues and problem. Customers will have queries. So both require same kind of the personality traits and also the skill sets that you need to consider. If I have to say, in HR, assume that you learn about managing people, or getting things done from others, or keeping a happy resource. In future, if you're into marketing and you take up a department to handle, the skills that you have learned in HR, this will you can put in use. You have to make sure your team is understanding, the way you talk to your team, the way you get things done from the other departments, because you will have lot of coordination with other departments. When I say marketing skills like selling, convincing, or negotiation skills, even though if you learn these skills in marketing and if you ended up in HR jobs, you will be utilizing these skills. For example, if you're into recruitment, so you have to find out the right candidates for the right place, And number two, you will have to do negotiation in terms of the salaries and allowances. So you will be using the skills what you have learned in marketing into HR. So both of these profiles, HR and marketing, both complement each other really well in terms of the, as I said, skills and the personality. And you should be somebody who is friendly and charismatic personality, because the HR needs to be have all those qualities. And of course, communication skills, whether you're in marketing or HR, you need to have a really good communication skills and interpersonal relationship skills and all that. And apart right now, because I did HR, core HR, and I would like to say why I took core HR. So when I say personality, skills, and background, I could eliminate one of the options that was available and left with two: marketing and HR. When I see, as I said earlier, also marketing is something deals with more into a market outside, and the basic, like as Beena rightly said, those 7Ps, the price, product, those things I already studied even in my BCom and also in the first year of MBA. I was looking for something new that I can learn, something new that I can add on as a knowledge. So as Beena rightly said again, recruiters look for a knowledge than what specialization you have in your certificate. So the knowledge was very much important. In HR, I could study psychology, personal growth, and knowledge management. I still remember these classes, and conflict resolution and organizational behavior. These things are something that took my attention. When I went through, I literally took HR. I still, Beena is also remember when we were sitting in front of the college and I was looking after both the syllabus. What is this syllabus? I mean, what is this course is offering? What is this is HR is offering? And then something new I wanted to learn. That is when I opted for core HR. And yes, I mean, you guys are not fortunate enough, because now college is not offering core HR, but there is a lot to learn. And HR is whatever domain you are in, whether you are in marketing or finance or HR, wherever you are, the human skills, people skills matters the most. And the college course, whatever it offers, consciously or unconsciously, we start developing those skills within us as a recruiter or a HR, understanding people. The same skills are applied because you have to understand your customer. You have to make sure the customers are happy. And in HR, you have to make sure the employees are happy. They should not leave your company and go. So both of them are there, complement each other really well in this competitive, field. From my own personal experience, if I have to say, I am working in a company which is 75 years old company, and I have a team the age is ranging from 20 years to 60 years. Initially, when I joined this company, I found it little difficult to deal with people, because the way I talk to these youngsters and the way I talk to people who have 35 experience in the same company, so dealing with them, getting things done was very much essential. So when I say skills, think from a longer point of view. Nobody wants to be in a sales selling the same product on ground. But if you have a really good people skill, definitely you will excel in any field it might be. Just to give an example, in my previous company, I had a colleague who had 8 years experience in marketing. In marketing domain, he was into field sales, 8 years of experience, but he could not make up as a team lead or a manager. He's still working. In terms of salary and in terms of allowances, apart from that, if I have to say, he did not get a team to handle. Because when people have to give you a promotion, or when a company needs to trust you and hand over a team to you, they see people skill. They see how well you handle a department or a team. So this is where the HR skills plays a very important role. In my company, when management gives me a certain set of policies or rules or something that I had to go and explain my team. So by the time I walk from my boss cabin to my marketing cabin, I would have framed in such a way so that I have to communicate and convince my team why these new norms or the policies that we have to adopt. I know to explain them with purpose behind it. And at the same time, vice versa, my team has certain requirement, certain things that they want to talk about. I cannot just go into my MD cabin and say, this is what my team needs. I cannot do that. So I should put it in such a way where my MD should not feel I'm only talking for the employees and not considering the company's aspects or management aspects. So this is where the balanced and a neutral personality that gets developed when I think of HR and marketing together as a combination. So you become more balanced person, somebody who knows how to balance the employees that are working in the company and also the management. As a manager, as a leader, you should know how to have that balanced approach towards things. So this is what from my current job profile I could experience that I had till now. So this is what I can say when I say marketing and HR together, they together gel really well in a longer term. So when you have of course everybody have this career aspiration to be a manager, to lead a team. This is where these skills matters most. And if I have to say about the job profiles that are available in HR, the jobs, for example, in HR, you have something called HR operational. If you ended up having a HR job, so you will have HR operations who are into a backend operations like offer letters, background verification, documentation process, something like that. Well, there is one more department called payroll who are into compensation and benefit part, insurance, they look after the insurance part and IT parts, something like that. And there is one more section called general admin, the facilities and safety relations. This is what the general admin department does. And there is something, one more really a growing wing is L&D, the learning and development. And again, there is one more called a new wing, and which is actually booming now. It is called HRBP. It means that a human resource business partner. So you will be given assigned a department like a consultant, internal consultant. You look after the entire department requirement. So this is how the HR profiles and HR jobs that you can look for. And when I say in marketing you have jobs like sales officer. In sales again you have two: inside sales and field sales. So that is one. And then you have acquisition manager, acquisition or onboarding of a new clients. Then you have relationship manager, key account manager. The important key accounts will be given to you, which you need to handle. And in the media or advertising or digital marketing, e-commerce, you have wide varieties of opportunities, even in marketing jobs. So when I talk about the industry or a sectors, so you take FMCG, consumer durables, non-durables, advertisement, research, or media. Any sector you take, everywhere there is a need for marketing. At the same time, wherever there are people involved, wherever there is a human force, HR requirement comes into play. So both the field have enormous opportunities. It only depends on how we look for the right, a career or opportunities. It completely depends on individual. So this is how the job profiles looks in both the domain. And when I say long-term career path, so if I say marketing has a very fast-paced career growth. The growth is more faster. But in HR, the growth is slow, but it is more stable in a longer term. But in marketing, what happens? There is a very cutthroat competition out there. Everybody wants, and end of the day, people look for numbers and somebody who excels with zeal, and somebody who is very active, somebody who is very proactive. So in marketing, the career growth is faster, but it has a really cutthroat competition, and you should be somebody who is meant to be excel. Okay, and when it comes to HR is a very slow, but still it has a really strong growth in it. And also in HR, what happens when I say a job opportunities, there are a lot of big companies who are outsourcing their HR activities. For example, payroll. A lot of companies outsource their comp and benefit, like payroll part, to the company called TeamLease. TeamLease is a company who is into compensation and benefit part. So you can join companies like those as well. It's not necessary that you need to get into a bigger company. Or there is a companies who are mainly into recruitment and selection. Say, for example, Allegis, who is one of their placement company. They are mainly into recruitment. So either in HR you have these kind of companies where a lot of company outsource their HR functions. You can get into these companies, or you can get into the again main companies as well, the main sector. So this is how, in terms of the longer term career path, both have very balanced. And now if I have to say initial expectations or certain suggestion that I would like to give you, and also what I did at that point of time. The one is, keep your eye and ear open. Always, as soon as your college, third semester starts, you have to keep this in mind. Why I'm stressing this point is because when, for example, my initial, I got Exceed through a campus placement. So it was a full campus placement in Christ College. So from our placement office, we got a mail forwarded. It was a forwarded mail. So I just filled it and left it. After a week, I got a normal text message saying that your interview is scheduled in Christ College, Kormangala, and I stay near to Christ. So I went. First round, the interview was in the evening after 5. So I went. I finished 2 rounds and came back. And second day also I went, and all that second day of interview was also done. And next day, placement officer got a mail saying that I have been selected for Exceed, and the package was 6 variable and 6+. So it was put together 12 lakh package. So when placement officer announced this in the college, everybody were wondering, oh, when did this placement happen? How did you attend it? When was it conducted? Where was it? So one, people ignored the mail, or people did not pay much attention to it. So keep your eye and ear open on what is happening around you. So that, and also this is very important. Just when something comes to you, if you don't understand, go approach people. It does not matter what people think of you. You cannot control how people think. You can only control what you can do or what you can think. So approach people, don't hesitate. For example, take Exceed job only. So after giving me offer letter, company revoked my offer. They said they cannot give me an appointment letter because I was in mid of my college. I think I was in 4th semester. They said you have to complete your course, then only we will be able to give you a job offer. So they revoked. Again, placement officer got a mail saying that offer has been revoked. Then I didn't know what to do. So there was a third party consultancy who was involved in it. So that is a consultancy who conducted this interview and all that. So and after that, there was no point of getting into touch with a third party because they were least concerned. So what I did was, my LinkedIn profile was very good. I had kept it updated. So I found out a HR in LinkedIn. I pinged her personally, saying that, ma'am, this is the mail I got today, and this is the situation right now, and definitely I would like to work in your esteemed company and all that. I wrote a mail to her. Then the HR replied to me saying, oh, I understand, Netra, I can give you one more alternative option. You can join us on an internship basis, but your pay and everything remains the same. It's just that I cannot give you appointment letter. Once you're done with your exams, I'll give you appointment letter. So reaching out to people, just keep that in mind. Whatever you need to get it. I think in MBA we had a game called Beg, Borrow and Steal. Do anything, get what you want. That is the funda. That is the way of excelling. So that's how keep aware of what is happening around you, and networking. So networking is a very much important. As Beena rightly said, use the platform like LinkedIn and Quora. And this is the 2 platform even I used to use. So follow the industrial leaders, so which keeps you relevant to the market. What is happening? What is a discussion that industry talking about? What is happening in every industry? And a lot of people post there. It is a more of a social platform where industrialists talk about it. So keep that, be very active in that. And also Quora, what kind of questions you ask. And it gives you automatically, the algorithm gets in, sets in. So whenever there's a new things, people keep posting there. So follow LinkedIn and Quora. And apart from that, if I have to give you a few suggestions, be open and don't hesitate to anything. Number 2, don't be too choosy when you need to, it's not necessary that you need to end up in a bigger company with a bigger brand value. You don't need to prove anything to anybody. Focus on what you can learn the most. The knowledge is very important. So see what new things that you will get to learn and than a bigger company and a name. And number 3, keep your option wide open. You don't know what these paths will take you in. Just be open to things. That is very much important. So as I said, initially, definitely we will not be given an opportunity to lead a team. We need to prove ourselves. So be open to your choices, and both the domain have really good job opportunities. And as I said, in HR domain, you learn more of a life skills than just a subject knowledge. So keep that in mind. So I think that's pretty much from my end. And in case if you have any queries or something, just drop in so that me and Beena would like to answer. sir. So
I
thank you, sir.
believe there is questions in chat box for you.
Okay, just a minute. Yeah, when I say I forgot to tell you one more thing. That is a courses. The courses that you need to do. So even when I was in MBA, I did a lot of online courses from EDX. I think one was from IIMB, People Management, and currently also I am doing NLP and Emotional Intelligence. So these are the courses that I am doing. Okay, just plug in. Okay, let me take questions now. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Ms. Netravati and Ms. Bina, for a wonderful talk. Now I request Rajashri to take over vote of thanks for today's session.
Thank you, Meghna. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this occasion. With the blessings of our beloved chairman, Dr. R.N. Shetty, I'd firstly thank our director, Dr. H.N. Shivshankar, for their continued support for all the activities conducted by the department. I wholeheartedly thank our alumni, special speakers for the session, Ms. Beena RK and Ms. Netravati, for giving us insights on specialization, various career and industrial opportunities. And we heartily thank you for being with us today despite your busy schedule. I thank RNSMA for arranging this 2-day session on career growth and prospect 3 for students to understand the specialization. I would like to thank our HOD, Dr. U. Bhojana, and all the faculties of our department for their continuous contribution, guidance, and efforts to make the event happen. Special thanks to Archana P. Ma'am and Archana J.R. Ma'am for coordinating and making this session happen. Special thanks to Aditya, Pallavi, Pranava, Nirupama, Meghana, and Smita for their contribution. I wholeheartedly thank all the participants for being with us, and we hope you have benefited by the program. Thank you, one and all. Have a great day.
So lastly, I would like to say, so thank you so much, RNS IT MBA and RNS MA for choosing me as one of the speakers for the panelists for today. I really appreciated the way that you people contacted me and, thought that I will be one of the speakers for today. And literally, it is my first session, my first open talk like this. So thank you so much for this. I really mean it. Thank you, Bojana sir, and even Archana ma'am for contacting me, and Manjuna sir for giving me heads up that what I should talk to, and especially Meghana, our junior. She constantly kept me regarding updates of all the things. I really love the approach that you did. And thank you so much, Meghana, for that. And thanks, everyone. So it means a lot, and hope to get in touch with you people in future too.
Yeah, from my end, thank you so much for RNSIT MBA and RNS MA. It gives really a great pleasure to come and address our juniors, basically our juniors. So it means a lot. And even if you take say 10% from this session, it will be a great. And I feel we made justice to what we had to do, and it was really amazing. And the way you people coordinated, the junior who was keeping me updated on certain things, that was really nice. And also Meena ma'am for coming and approaching me, and all the faculties of RNSIT MBA for giving me an opportunity to share my experience and my views on on career and growth aspects. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Beena and Ms. Netravati, for your time on spending on this session. I really liked your speech today, and I would like to meet up on you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.